Hello, everyone. We've had two horrific attacks that made national news take place today. One in Ukraine and another one in Israel. And something about it, just the sudden escalation of the situation between the Israeli and the Palestinians, has me wondering, because maybe I'm just paranoid, but I'm seeing the mighty hand of Russia in it. You see, Russia is known for purposely destabilizing situations around the world wherever it's possible. We already know about its interference in the 2016 US election. We already know about the numerous coups and assassinations staged by specifically the militant group Wagner in Africa. And we know there's some definitely dirty secrets circulating about attempted and successful overturns, the changes in power in some of the European nations, such as Hungary. So this very sudden attack by Hamas against the bordering Israeli villages kind of has me wondering. And here's why. So as you guys know, U.S. Congress is in a total mess after the ousting of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The House went on vacation without making any decisions, including the decision about the aid for Ukraine. What I'm wondering about is whether something somehow was orchestrated, again with Russia's help, to distract from Ukraine. That is not to say that what people there are going through is horrific. I have friends and relatives living in Israel, and one of my cousins actually texted me today and saying, "Oh my God, this is terrifying." And I feel bad for her. I'm worried about her children, her husband, herself, etc., etc. So I'm not downplaying what's happening there, but again, the timing has me wondering. Additional information about the assassination of former Wagner chief Prigozhin has been leaked, and now multiple sources are reporting on this. This particular piece is from Euronews, but there are other sources talking about this, including American and European. In addition to Euronews, there's BBC and Reuters if you do not trust American sources. So what they're saying now is that the bodies found at the crash site contained pieces of hand grenades, and that the investigation of the pieces of the airplane shows no external damages. So basically the implications are that there was a case of hand grenades that blew up inside the plane, and that's what caused the crash and killed all the passengers on board. So, yeah. Now, Putin is going with that particular version. However, the question remains, how did the hand grenades make it on the plane? There's been some bits of testimony circulating here and there that while everything else placed on board the plane was very carefully examined, there was one box that was loaded at the last minute that was not. So maybe that's what that was. And in any case, I don't really care whether Putin confirms this version or not. That does not change the fact that the whole thing smells fishy, and it's very likely he was behind it. The spats continue between Russian and U.S. diplomats. So Russia kicked out 2 U.S. diplomats last month. So U.S. kicked out 2 Russian diplomats. And I'm like, so do you really think that's going to make an impression? I understand it's a symbolic move, but I mean, I think the time for such games are over. I've been suggesting for a long time that nations that still have diplomatic staff in Russia, anywhere, just pull all of their people out. Just get everybody out, shut down your facilities there, just, and be thankful that your people make it home safe and do not end up in some Russian jail somewhere. Meanwhile, Ukraine's European allies, realizing that the aid from the United States might be a long time coming, are amping up their manufacturing and expanding their economies to be able to support Ukraine. And kudos to them. Again, big concerns are with the pro-Russian governments within EU, Hungary, and Slovakia, which had just announced its cessation of any aid to Ukraine. And a reminder why we need to keep pushing against Russia. So do you remember that horrific attack against the grocery store in the village of Hroza, during which dozens of people died, and including a child? This is even worse. You would think, what can be worse? Like, imagine if you were somewhere at Aldi's or Kroger's or Wegmans or Ingles or Food Lion. And suddenly a rocket flies in and kills half the people at the store. What could be worse? 1 second, says Mr. Putin, not to be outdone. There's been a missile strike against people who were at the funeral for those who were killed in that strike. So these people were there, gathered together to support one another, to mourn those they had lost. And the missile struck right in the middle of the wake, killing more people. Do I really need to present any arguments that this is wrong and inhumane?